What's up, activators? It's your host, Caitlin here. Welcome back to the show. Happy Monday, happy start to your week, or whenever you're listening to this episode. I hope you're having a beautiful day, regardless. This week, we're talking all things health and wellness. And I'd actually like to think that the last couple of episodes and the ones coming up still have to do with this topic of being well, not only from the soul level, as we always talk about, the spiritual level, but the physical one too, because I know, we all know that often can reflect the same exact thing. What's going on inside shows without, and vice versa. Matt and I are 11 days into our gut protocol, and I gotta tell you, I feel so much clearer. My skin is clearing up slowly but surely, with, of course, some grossness, some big zits coming out. I'm like, my body is clearly purging, and it just feels so good to finally have broken through. Like the first week, I was having so many cravings. All I wanted was like a big cheeseburger and fries or chicken nuggets with ranch. If you know me, I love my ranch dressing. And so that was really hard, given some of the things that we've cut out for the next 90 days or so: red meat, gluten, dairy, eggs. It's felt like a mountain when it's really not been that hard. But the cravings, of course, are always, you just want to succumb to them so bad and have a little treat and a little snack. I really wish I could drink coffee right now, decaf or half calf, of course. But I'm really trying to honor this process and cutting out everything to give my gut a breather. And I gotta tell you, I feel amazing. My body physically feels lighter. I have more energy throughout the day. I physically feel more open. I feel like I can move for more and longer periods of time than I have been able to in, let's say, Pilates or a yoga class. I feel like I am also intuitively tuning into my body more and being able to feel what's going on within her. And my mindset has never felt more determined and more clear to continue to build my life the way I want to. And I just have to say, the last 2 weeks or so have been a pure lesson and like deep gratitude and appreciation for the fact that I can go to a grocery store and find healthy, whole foods and take them home with me and feed them to my body. I feel so incredibly grateful that it's right down the road and it's not a big trek to get the food that we need and also want. Like, everybody wants a watermelon. I don't know a single person that doesn't enjoy a nice slice of watermelon. And I'm so grateful that we can also find local resources for these fruits, these vegetables, even some of the meat that we're eating. And, I always have been proud of myself for living through a grateful heart. I think every day I wake up and I'm just like, wow, things are good. Like, things could be worse. They could be better maybe in some ways, but they are really good. And it's just been this little portal for me to feel energized that I can feel myself the best way that I possibly can. I can pour into myself and take care of myself in the ways that I'm learning to, that I've never done before. And in turn, that gives me more energy, more fuel, more even like brain power to go support the people that maybe don't have access to the things that I have access to, or who are starting their healing journey and are excited to dive in, but are taking the baby steps to do so. And so I'm just feeling just so lit up inside, despite all the change still going on in my life, all the decisions that I still have yet to make when it comes to building a business and moving out of the country. And just all those things. They're such blessings. And when it feels heavy, sometimes I have to remind myself that that is so light comparatively to all the other things that are going on in our world. And not to say and discredit the way I feel. I'm allowed. I'm validated in feeling, oof, this is hard, or this is new, this is uncomfortable. But I have to say, it's been a real perspective changer to just put into my frame of mind that I've got so much going for me, and I'm so, so lucky. And when I feel I raise my vibration to meet that frequency, that sounded so cheesy just coming out of my mouth, but truly, like when you let yourself feel that gratitude at the highest level and feel that joy that a simple meal that you cooked at home brings you, like that means more of that can come your way, and you're continuing to create that space. And I'm so, so grateful. I also just had a big emotional week. I finished Harry Potter and that series. And let me tell you, I have so many thoughts. That book broke my heart in so many ways. I wish there was a happier ending. Like I was like, JK, write me 30 more pages and give me like the vibes of how like the Weasleys and Harry reunite and how Ginny and Harry get back together. Great, they have kids and they're getting them on the Hogwarts Express. But like, I want the juicy details of how Ron and Hermione actually come together and finally decide that they're supposed to be together forever. Like, and so Matt and I are in the process of watching the movies, and I'm super excited to start whatever novel journey I have next. I've got a few ideas. I've got a couple books actually on deck as well. And overall, that has really just inspired me to keep pouring into myself in that way. Reading is always something that I grew up loving doing. And so it feels good to kind of get back into that habit, even if it's just a few pages a day. I also started a money book, which has got me jazzed up. It's called Rich as Fuck by Amanda Francis, and she writes so simply, so easy to follow. Any other money book that I've read is just, hey, simple as raise your vibration. And while I agree with that and understand that mentally, my mind, my resistance goes into every thought about why I can't do that. I'm like reading it, I'm like, Amanda, no. And then literally the following sentence, it comes up with the reason why, yes, you can. She writes so realistically, and this book was given to me by my boyfriend's mom. And I'm so glad that I'm picking up now. It feels like it's been sitting on my nightstand, and now is the season that I'm meant to be taking in this information, especially as my finances are shifting. Things are moving in mine and Matt's life that we're building together. That is just, it's crazy. It's wild. It's happening so fast. And there's no reason that we can't invite even more abundance in, even while all of this chaos is happening, because it's fun. So that's a little update on me and my life. Health and wellness, let's freaking do it. This week's guest is a true friend of mine. We met together in our breathwork facilitator program, and her name is Erica Martin. Erica has been a nurse for many, many years and has worked on that, what I like to say, very clinical side of medicine for a long time. And during the pandemic, of course, we all went through so much transformation and change. She really recognized that healing just from a prescriptive standpoint or talking through symptoms and trying to fix a problem was no longer the solution of healing that she wanted to provide. And so she started getting into and studying more modalities of healing, or the quote unquote Western or Eastern rather ways that we typically label them as: yoga, sound, breath work, even some plant medicine as well. And just, she's really been soaking this up so that she can bring to her patients a very well-balanced perspective of how to help people ask the right questions when it comes to advocating for themselves and their health, or, building this relationship with their intuition that, hey, I walked into this office with these symptoms, but we're talking about intuition. She's just that type of person. Erica is one of the most cosmically grounded people I know. When she speaks, it feels like truth because she owns hers 100%. From the times that I've had wrist pain to my hormone imbalances, she's always been there to talk through not only the physical means of what I might be going through, but the energetic ones too. Maybe the headache that you're having is just a process, an energetic process, a releasing. Can you sit with it? Can you talk to it? Can you communicate with yourself in a way before you start to freak out and go look up information on WebMD and diagnose yourself with XYZ thing? In this episode, we talk about a lot of health and wellness trends, from GLP-1 and this seemingly changing and very quickly shifting body image and dysmorphia, environment that we have going on. We also talk about psilocybin and plant medicine and how they are beautiful guides, but also help us direct ourselves eventually, where maybe we can even be our own teacher. We also talk about things like autoimmune disease and how those are popping up a lot more, especially in women right now. And a slew of other beautiful things that you probably want some more information on. I will preface this entire episode by saying that Erica has a medical background. She has done the research. She is so curious and excited about these topics. That's why she does what she does every single day. But I am not a medical professional. So there are certainly assumptions that I go into this episode with, thinking, oh my God, we're doing this because of that and this because of that. And she helps really ground us into the broader reason of why we're seeing some of these health and wellness trends really take flight right now. So we are just two crunchy gals talking about things that honestly a lot of people share a lot of different perspectives on. And I'm not saying that we're right by any means, but I'd offer the idea that we are both pretty open to learning about these topics. And I hope that you are too, even if you don't fully agree. I personally am a person that would rather do anything, chug a water, drink an herbal tea, something of that nature, let's say, before I take an ibuprofen for a headache or my cramps even during my cycle. And so that's the lens from which I'm coming from. I won't speak for Erica. And when you're listening to this episode, not all of this is conjecture. There's a lot of research behind these holistic modalities that, can be combined with the more clinical form of medicine to really heal the whole person. Erica talks a lot about how that's always been the case in ancient wisdom and ways of healing, is we're not only, doing stuff to support the body, but we're there to support the mind, the spirit, and the heart as well. And so just a friendly reminder that nobody's right, nobody's wrong. There's always going to be so much information out there, but you have the autonomy and the discernment to make decisions for yourself based off of what you learn and based off of what you know in your body. We can heal ourselves holistically. I genuinely believe that. And I want these things to be talked about a little bit more openly and challenged, because a lot of the, for lack of a better term, treatment that I think a lot of people can use, we're either not educated on, or it's not accessible for the people, the folks who really need them, whether it be eating whole nutritious foods to, being able to exercise in a group fitness class, a couple times a week. It might be that somebody doesn't feel safe walking outside, or, they're not even feeling safe within their body to explore these topics. And so I want this episode to be a reminder and even an invitation for you to go deeper with your health journey and to reflect and pause on, like, hey, how can I treat my vessel as well as the soul that resides within it in the best possible way that I know how and that feels right for me. We're never going to be perfect. I don't buy things with gums in them. I don't buy things with red dye. My brothers always give me shit for that. I don't really buy things with any sort of inflammatory seed oils, but you can't win them all. Sometimes you're going to want to treat yourself and have a couple drinks, and you might not feel great after, but maybe at the time it was fun. Maybe a fruit roll-up is calling your name. Maybe you want to go do something cool that you never thought you would do that shocks your nervous system and gives you an opportunity to come back and regulate on your own. Whatever it is, I just want to remind you how lucky that we all are to be in a state where, we have the options and the means, most of us, to explore these things. And like I said earlier, I feel very lucky that my health and the actions that I'm taking towards it right now are simply preventative, so that later down the road, I'm already invested in this journey and know my body so well that I can feed it the nutrients it needs, metaphorically speaking, as well as literally speaking, to be well and to be the best version of Caitlin that I can in that season. It's crazy how our health is truly, truly an investment. And like I said, I've learned that over the past couple of weeks that if you don't do it now, we're all going to die. We're humans. We're temporarily on this planet. But if you don't take the time to learn what you need now, I feel like you're kind of failing yourself as a human in a sense, or I'll at least speak for me. I think about all the times where, I've eaten a lot of crap in a short amount of time, or, I've put toxins in my body that don't resonate there anymore. The simple things and the big things, how I've overexercised before or depleted myself to the point where I can't sleep because I'm so freaking tired. Like, those things are so, so important. And the way Erica speaks about our health is a gentle nudge, a gentle reminder to step back and to listen and to notice those things before they become a challenge. We have lived in a crazy world and also a toxic world, both literally and figuratively, for a long, long time, where we're programmed not to do that, and that the quick, easy fix, like a pill, a prescription, or some form of treatment, is the answer. And what if it's both? What if there's nothing wrong with you except the fact that your body is simply trying to return itself back to homeostasis and just is asking you for some help with the dis-ease or the conditions or, the whatever you're experiencing, the symptoms that you have in your life. And there's this beautiful partnership that can emerge with very holistic ways of healing. And also, of course, by seeing medical professionals and going to the doctor and being an advocate for yourself, asking the questions and demanding things of the people that have spent the time and the energy and frankly the finances too to become professionals in this field. I think that, I've seen way too many people as of late really, really have to stand up for themselves when it comes to their wellness. And it breaks my heart to know that there's so many people out there that care too, but sometimes they're not getting the platform to speak on these things. And so I'm excited for you to hear a little bit more about what Erica talks about today. I am so, so excited for you to hear this episode. So without further ado, let's get into it and welcome our guest this week, Erica Martin. Hey, Erica. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Hi, Caitlin.
How are you doing?
Real good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty swell. Thanks for asking. I feel like I'm trying to escape this heat so much.
Yes.
It's an inside day for this girl.
Love that. Go inward.
Yes, exactly. I'm so excited to have you. I'm sure you know the first question I'm going to ask you because I ask all my guests, and it's pretty rhetorical, but I think it's worth asking. And that is, are you spiritually active?
I love this. I would consider myself spiritually active. Yes.
I consider you that too. What does that mean to you?
So for me, spiritual activity is looking beyond or looking within or connecting to something unknown, unseen, just questioning. And yeah, seeker.
Yeah. How does that, what modalities do you practice to get into that activity or activation, as you call it?
Oh, so for me, it was started probably with the yoga teacher training 6 years ago-ish. So yoga, meditation, sound, the breathing, of course, nature, all the good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like every time we talk, you're either going somewhere naturey and tropical to either vacation or do yoga. I'm like, okay, what the heck? I want to come.
Yes.
Remind me, do you teach yoga right now, like at a studio?
So I've kind of been back and forth moving, and I'm just settling back in now to get back into the studios, and so that's going really well though. Lots of yoga right now, just not teaching yet.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. I love that. One step after the other,
That's right.
Yay. Well, I've gotten to know you very well over the last, I don't know, year, 2 years through our breathwork facilitator training together. I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad that we've gotten to connect and just learn from each other. But for those of the listeners that have never met you or don't know anything about you, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. So I have been in the healthcare system for about 20 years. I graduated nursing in 2007. So I've seen a lot of trends in healthcare for the past couple of decades. It originated in Chicago. We came out here for the weather and the sun, because that's super important for lots of reasons. So yeah, my background is nursing and turned holistic or more natural healing modalities.
Yeah. And I feel like you do a little bit of both,
I do.
You're still very rooted in that, we'll say, quote unquote, Western way of approaching medicine, but there's also, some of the things you tell me, I'm just like, oh my God, I got to try this, that are maybe more ancestral, ancient practices, or even, just like very herbal and down to earth remedies as well.
Yes. It's funny how your path brings you along the winding trail, along picking up all that knowledge on the way. I feel so lucky to have the information that I've picked up through my nursing career.
Yeah. What inspired you to go the more holistic healing route as a nurse? Like, was there a turning point or personal experience that just really made you like, oh, like, this is the way to go. This is the way to approach this?
Yes. So it was pretty divinely guided, I would say. Back in 2020, we were making our transition from the Midwest out here to the Southwest. And with the big viral pandemic, it was really choices based on vaccination requirements along the way. So that really guided my choice in employment. And because of those choices, that's where I gained a lot of the underground healing modalities that are going on. So I worked at a holistic cancer center when I first moved here. I actually had the job when I transferred. And there I did a lot of high dose vitamin C. I did insulin potentiation therapy, which is low dose chemo while dropping the blood sugar, attacks the cancer more targeted.
Wow.
Yeah, they had hyperthermia, which is raising the core body temperature to a degree where the cancer can't survive, and just acupuncture, lymphatic drainage, and a lot of like getting into the trauma that the person's carrying around, because that's so relevant. So yes, I'd say the jobs that I chose because of that really guided me.
Yeah. It's cool to hear, I think it's very easy when you're not involved in medicine in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a career path or, just a passion of yours. I think it's really cool to hear, like, more and more centers or facilities being opened up to create that balance between, like, okay, like, we know these things heal. I didn't know hyperthermia was a thing. That's cool. That's crazy. Because you see that becoming like a trend in some other ways, shapes, or form. You see sauna and cold plunge, and I don't know if those are the same, but like, the essence of going a layer deeper than just kind of, using medication or, pharmaceutical drugs, so to speak, to treat the whole person. I always like, when I hear the word holistic, I'm like, okay, we're treating not just the body. We're treating the mind, the spirit, and all that good stuff.
Absolutely, which is how it had been done for ancient generations before us.
Yeah. While I appreciate how far we've come in science and medicine, it's also really fascinating to hear what people have done for a really long time. And I'm like, wait, why did we forget about that?
Well, that's why we call it practicing medicine too.
Yeah. Ooh, say more about that.
Well, there's not a lot of evidence. I mean, we've only been around for a couple thousand years. It's not like we have a lot of science. Yeah.
We think we know.
Yeah, we do.
How do you navigate that tension between like that, I don't want to speak like out of turn, but the Western mind is very egocentric. We think we know. We're very confident in that knowing. And sometimes like a certain treatment or something might not be for everybody. So how do you like deal with that tension between like your Western medicine background training and then learning some of these other modalities that you support your patients in?
So the bigger question is like, how do we get a client or a patient to take their power and control back for their own health instead of surrendering it over to the structures and the systems that are in place? That's really what has happened, is people have stopped looking for their own answers or following their inner knowing, and they're now looking outside of themselves when really they have all the answers already, but they've just given away their power.
Yeah, that is a big question.
So when a patient or a client is interested, and I'm kind of in a situation where I'm not at that, I'm not wearing that hat today, and they are asking the right questions, I just let them know, you're asking the right questions, keep on that path. And I don't gatekeep, but at the same time I don't offer, because generally if somebody's not asking, they don't want to know.
That's a great reminder. My boyfriend and I were just talking about that the other day, of like more and more people are, waking up is a term we use so loosely now, but we're each on our own path of awakening and remembering and unraveling and undoing. But, I'm sure we all have someone or some people in our lives that were like, okay, like, you live the life the way you live it, and that's all, and we were discussing like, okay,
sure,
you can't want it for them. They have to start asking the questions and getting curious, because otherwise, what you say, they're either going to be like, she's crazy, or like, okay, no, like, that's not, and that energetically doesn't.
Sure. That's one of the hardest things about this human experience, is the love that we come with, along with the free will. Yeah. So we have both. And it's just, navigating that.
Yeah, absolutely. What are, like, if someone's listening and they're like, okay, like, I do feel like I haven't been able to advocate for myself when it comes to my personal health. What are some of the things that you would suggest, like, either them thinking about or, like, questions that they can ask their doctor, nurse, whoever that they see?
Sure. So there's so much information available today. Unfortunately, a lot of it is censored.
Yeah.
But it depends on who they are talking with. First of all, I think the diagnosis that is placed on them is more damaging than the condition itself, because the body is always just seeking balance. If it's out of balance, it's going to do things that present as illness, but if you provide the right environment, the body will absolutely heal itself. So I guess number one, don't take don't take the diagnosis as an end all be all. It's not it's not just that. There's so many things. But I would say I have a doctor on YouTube that I always consult with. His name's Dr. Eric Berg. He is a plethora of information, and he explains that he takes the time that the doctor in the office doesn't have. So I really, really appreciate that. And it's hard to find resources that you trust, but I do trust him. Barbara O'Neill, she's kind of been suppressed for several reasons. What else? There's a lot of information online. You just have to look for it.
Yeah, and to your point, find things that you trust. I think it's really easy to get yourself stuck in a rabbit hole of like, oh my God, like there truly is so much information out there, and it's powerful. Yes. Education, information is power, but it also, I mean, there's some people that I follow who you go and read the comments and people are so hateful and mean of like, you're wrong, like
don't
you're not
feed
a medical
the trolls.
professional. Yeah, but like there's this one woman who she's like a doctor. She's like every video she starts with her credentials because she's like, you guys will not believe me. But some of the things that she shares and suggests about sunlight and things of that nature that are very natural, she's like, you guys think I'm crazy and zany, but like these have been studied, and yet it's not. Like, here's the information. I'm giving it to you now.
I recently heard sunlight explained like this. So we're using, red light therapy and all these things, but our whole body is a solar panel. We just aren't utilizing it that way. I mean, we have to be smart.
Right.
But you got to cover during the middle part of the day, but you do need sun, and it definitely activates your hormone levels.
Yeah, it's pretty wild how much better I feel when I go outside for just a few minutes in the morning. Or if I sit in front of a red light, I all the things we talk about today, I'm sure people are like, that's placebo, or that's this, or that's that. I'm like, well, that's part of it too,
I mean, there's receptors in our eyes that activate levels in our body. So, is it placebo or is it just activating our iris?
Yeah. I think, though, when it comes to just wellness generally, right, and like quote unquote health, I think we really expect like a quick result, a quick indicator of, oh, this is working. And we'll talk about like weight loss and stuff like that in a minute. But, yeah, like I know so many people that are like, oh, I'm just going to take an ibuprofen because that's going to make me feel better quickly. And I know it's going to do that. Versus like, okay, what if you drank this lovely herbal tea or broke
or
out
an
your
electrolyte beverage?
Right, exactly. Yeah,
we're a quick fix society, that's for sure. And we didn't used to look for that immediate response.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of mentioned it earlier, but during the pandemic, I mean, we were definitely looking for a quick fix, and now we're seeing all sorts of stuff kind of unravel from that. So very crazy.
It's interesting to see. And I did hear early on that it's going to be about 4 years before we notice the real results of this.
Yeah. Goody. Well, how far are we from there? 2 years, 3 years? I can't even keep... I've talked to so many people lately about just generally the pandemic. Like, I don't know why it keeps coming up.
Because we're seeing the injuries now.
Totally. Yeah. And even just like the longer term effects on our mental health, our perspectives of the world, like, it's crazy. But a gal that I was talking to in my Pilates training, she was like, I remember COVID so much. I'm like, I don't remember. And it's just like, holy crap. Like, did I block that out? And that's like my trauma response. Yeah. Because, it wasn't a crazy time. I just was home all the time. And so I'm like, I don't know if the mundane nature of things, it's so wild. I'm like, okay.
It really is.
Well, either I have a bad memory or I literally am blocking it out.
Well, there was a lot of fear tactics used, so that would make
Totally.
sense.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you shut that out?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just so crazy because, you hear the other end of the spectrum of that. It was a really painful time for me. And, it's still, like, I'm still in, whether it be physical pain or, mental, emotional. Yeah.
As awful as it was, it did happen for a reason, I do believe.
Yeah. I think we can say that about a lot of things on this planet right now. It's hard to stomach and watch and bear witness to. And I also am seeing more and more people activate their own unique powers and gifts in ways that, I hate to say, but like when push comes to shove, sometimes we need a little bit of like resistance in order to create that.
What an exciting time, though, that we're here.
Yeah.
How cool that we chose to come here at this time.
Yep. I know. Whenever I share that idea with people, they're like, I didn't choose this. Like, well, do you want to go down that rabbit hole? Because we can talk about
My
it.
favorite is you chose your parents, and they're adamantly disagreeing.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know. I think we each have a moment in life, whether you're spiritual or not, where you can really identify like, oh yeah, that was supposed to happen. I learned a big fat lesson there.
Totally.
Like, thank you, and on we go to the next.
Yep.
So.
Beautiful.
Okay, let's talk all things health trends.
Yes.
I want to pick your brain. Because every time, like, you and I catch up and I share with you and complain about all my ailments, you're like, girl, this is what I'm seeing. This is what's happening, like, out in the ether. And I'm so grateful for that perspective. So I want our listeners to hear that, too. So first, we've talked about weight loss a lot. We're seeing that trend of, like, being skinny is, like, the cool thing. Rather than, the what I don't think is a trend, that vibe of like body love. Like, your body is exactly as it's supposed to be. It's a holy place. It literally keeps you alive every single day. And I think a lot of that, weight loss or skinny mindset is due to large, I guess I'll say pharmaceutical or access to pharmaceutical drugs like Ozempic and things of that nature. But we also see people being so interested, is the word I'll use, to lose weight, that we're seeing some like not ethical practices, right? Of like people are gaining access to things on the black market. Like, or we also see the trend, which is cool too, of like, this is nature's version of this medication. Totally. So anyway, I just listed a bunch of things, but like, can you share with us like what's going on there? What have you observed?
So I used to be against GLP-1. I was like, your kidneys and muscle wasting and who wants crepey skin and all this. But now I'm coming around because it's actually just a peptide, and I have worked with functional medicine doctors, and they use it in pulse dosing. And it actually does move fat from one place to the other. So I think we're over-prescribing. And people want that fast fix, like we said.
Yeah.
But it's too much too fast. Where if we just had a little bit more respect for this peptide, which is naturally occurring in the body, and just, you don't have to go fast. And it doesn't... It can be done healthily, I believe.
Yeah. Well, and, it's been shared with me, too, that just like you said, it's either prescribed too much or it's prescribed to the wrong people. People who don't necessarily, like, this could be a life-saving drug.
Totally.
For a lot of individuals, so it's just a matter of, I guess, what's the intention or purpose behind it? Is it actually for your health, or is it for your appearance?
What's more harmful, the obesity or the side effects?
Totally, yeah.
And then it's got to be like a lifestyle change too. So then that comes like you have to recondition the thinking around diet and exercise, which is way underprescribed.
Yeah. Yeah, nutrition, all that good stuff.
And fueling your body. Because strong really should be the new skinny.
Amen. And also, I say this trend as if like, oh, okay, it's not okay to be skinny. I more so mean it's like, we don't all have to have the same body type. Like, take care of yourself and your body, and you are beautiful in whatever skin you're
I think it comes down
so
to
just for the
body.
record.
It's body image, and then dysmorphia is what it comes down to, because your body keeps you safe and healthy, and it does its best to keep you in balance. It just needs your help.
Yeah.
We can become friends with our bodies.
Yeah. And you've also shared, like, kind of along those lines, like, about better metabolic health. Can you talk a little bit about, like, what is that? What does that mean? How do we take care of ourselves in that way?
So it's just diet related again, and then the insulin resistance that comes with carrying that extra weight for so long. Then the hormones do get out of balance, and if you have your body out of balance for so long, it's going to try to survive, and that's the way it does that if we have too much sugar in our diets.
So the better the metabolic health with whatever tools, like I always hear hormones are like our fifth vital sign, and the metabolic health is like a direct result of that. Would you say? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they're totally related.
Beautiful. This feels very timely. I don't know if I told you I'm doing a bunch of testing. We'll talk after this.
Everyone should definitely get their hormone levels.
Yes.
Just as a baseline to compare for when you're older. Like, where am I supposed to be at?
Yep. I'm doing GI testing as well.
Oh, a mapping?
I'm doing a mapping.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm really excited.
Yes.
I was reading through the instructions of how to take the test. It's going to be fun.
So I've recently gotten into L-reuteri yogurt.
Okay, what's that?
It's a lactobacillus strain that is depleted in our systems. Like 1 out of 25 people still have it. But it's the cause, and it can remedy SIBO, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which a lot of people are suffering with. And it improves your mood. It helps with fat loss and muscle gaining. It increases collagen production. The key, though, I'll find the doctor and provide you with this info. Dr. William Davis, I think.
Okay.
But it's if you ferment this yogurt for 36 hours, it quadruples, and that's how much bacteria you're introducing into your intestinal system then.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we love to eat our wellness. Yeah, I'm very curious to see, there's so much out there in the ether about parasites right now, and how so many cultures outside of the United States do parasite cleanses, and how good it is for you to like flush the literal stuff out of your body. But just how like unaware a lot of people are, and where you get it from too, like how to select foods that can either decrease your chances of having a parasite, or just knowing that sometimes it's going to occur, and here's how you take care of yourself naturally too. I've been seeing all sorts of like cleanses, and even just fasting is a crazy way to let some of the things that are not supposed to be attached to your body go away.
So the parasite cleanse and the fasting was for every patient at the cancer clinic.
Interesting.
Yep.
Why
it's
is
because
that?
So cancer can hide within like these parasite bunches or whatever. And fasting it's just your body's way of cleaning itself. But there's a Dr. Lee Harris, and she actually did CT after autopsy on patients with MS, and 100% of them had parasites. So those lesions on the brain and spine from MS are actually just parasites. But no doctor will recognize this. And I don't blame the doctors. I don't fault them. They're just not given the information.
Yeah.
And it sounds absurd. I know that they it sounds completely wacko to them.
Well, I think there's two interesting things at play there. One is, how many studies is enough? I don't think we'll ever know the answer, but we see all sorts of medical trials going on, patients like being a part of those and seeing insanely great results. Whether that be for a particular protocol or procedure or a medication. But I think the other thing is, like, at the end of the day, some people are going to be so in need to be well and to get better from the state that they're in that they're going to try anything.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool when not seeing people get to the point of desperation, but for example, with the hormone stuff, I know too many women, sometimes I feel in despair myself about, like, what the hell is going on inside my body. You hear men talking about healthy testosterone levels and how that's like kind of all over the place sometimes right now. So it's just like, there are people that get into such a deep, desperate state that it's like, I'm gonna try this out, and like, it's so cool when it works.
And that's the wake-up call when you get that desperate.
Right.
Our grandpas have higher testosterone than our teenagers right now because it's declined so much over 3 generations. Is that
nutritional, or...
It's like working, movement outside in the sun. Like, they're just not doing that.
Interesting.
And diet and toxic culture, of course.
It's all of it.
Yes.
It's I know we're jumping all over the place.
No, it's okay.
Really hard
There's so much.
To be like, and it's really hard to know where to start, because as you were mentioning before, I think there's this inner knowing that we each possess, our intuition, as we call it, and it's really easy to not trust it because we think our mind is tricking us into thinking, oh, we're sick, we're unwell. And it's like, actually, maybe you just need to eat more fruit.
Question everything is what I say.
Yeah. That's scary for people, though. Including myself. I'm like, oh my God, what's my vertigo? I'm unwell. There's so many things happening.
Is it a condition, though, or are you just going through a process? That's what we need to start asking ourselves. Because a lot of times, your body's just upgrading to get you to the next obvious level. We're not going to stay the same.
Right.
And things are shifting very quickly now.
So quick. I think that's why
wild.
sometimes, like, my perception of time is like, what the hell? That was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
To me, that was yesterday. So. Okay, we've talked about GLP-1 a little bit.
Yeah.
I shared with you my journey with vertigo that, I'm still kind of like thinking, considering what's going on, being aware of. But it was like, it was happening and then it wasn't. There was a period of a couple months where I was just like, holy crapoly. I was getting dizzy randomly, like vertigo, all this stuff. And, and some of the things that you shared with me is that a lot of like autoimmune conditions are starting to like make themselves known in people's bodies. So can you share more about like what things you're seeing, what patterns you're observing?
I think they're just diagnosing more.
Yeah.
Before it was happening and nobody was coming forward with it. I think the virus and the vaccine has accelerated a lot of this. Because viruses, I mean, they can change things. They can activate things in your system. We've known that for a long time. But how is it looking? So there's a lot more younger people. There's way more people than ever. 80% of women. 80% of women. 80% of autoimmune are women.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that goes back to the hormone levels and the over caretaking and the not listening to your, needs. So yeah, it's just looking a lot more prevalent, a lot younger age groups.
Yeah.
And I think it's just beginning. 'Cause there's a lot of like people in the community now that are experiencing the lightheadedness, the dizziness, the hypotension. Yeah, it's we're gonna see a lot more.
Yeah. What is treatment for that? What are you sharing with people of like, okay.
It
I'm
depends.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It depends on where you go. And if you go to your primary, they may refer you to the neurologist. And now the FDA has approved IVIG as well as like there's other medications. But that's primarily what's given for like late stage, last resort. And if you go to somebody holistic, they're gonna help you to regulate your nervous system and get your cortisol levels under control and check your levels hormonally and your basic labs. So I think just coming back in tune with your rhythm and things that make you feel aligned again and not ignoring that.
It sounds so simple.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
And then the diet, that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been quite a conversation in my household around like, how can we eat nutrient dense foods as much as we possibly can? It's like,
yeah, especially here.
Like, how can you power your body and care for it like a machine? Like it needs. Every time I sit down, I'm like, okay. I like look at my food. I'm like, oh my God, there's so much like delicious goodness in here that's going to give my body exactly what it needs. And I think even that, I'm just like, oh my God, like that adds a level of energy at meal time. That's like, okay, even if these raspberries aren't organic, like I washed the shit out of them and I'm going to eat these because I know they're good for me.
Well, there's the dirty dozen list you can follow too, because some stuff you're just not going to find.
Yeah.
And then frozen. A lot of frozen options, like frozen fruit, are really good because you can find the frozen and just they don't go bad. And
right. Yeah.
But Shilajit can be really good.
Okay, we've been dying to try that, so you're giving me dying to give it a whirl. Yeah, I've heard it's not good tasting.
It's volcanic soil and ash, so.
Well, can't you mix it? Can't you?
Yeah, you can put it in tea.
Okay, cool.
But it's still not great.
I'm like, can I put it in my third caffeine coffee? Volcanic ash and coffee bean, my favorite.
It just tastes like dirt.
Yeah. But, I mean, hey, it's from the earth, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's a way to
like
get your micronutrients. And then there's salt. You can use, like, a good resourced salt can help with minerals.
Yep. Yeah, I have given up on all electrolyte powders.
Oh, yeah.
Anything electrolytes, I'm like, I'll just put salt in my water, thank you.
Yeah.
Because, something we see a lot too, and I hear more and more about nutritionally every single day is like, okay, seed oils is a whole other topic. We won't get into that. Inflammation station, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But when you look at so many different things on the shelves, they all have natural flavors in them. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Therefore,
It's
I'm not going to eat it
good for you.
because that means that you're putting something in there to make it taste natural, even though it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And while I recognize putting actual strawberry juice in a canned juice is like, it's not maybe shelf stable as much as you'd like it, all that stuff. I'm like, that those two words, I feel like it gets so
It's
easily
totally hiding.
sneaky.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Don't trust it.
Yeah, I don't want to put stuff in my body that I don't know or recognize.
That's the
I mean, I
whole
have trouble
food-
with like cheese now.
Yeah.
Cheese is
Oh, yeah.
orange. I'm like, how did this shit come to get orange?
Raw organic cheese is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I will never give up cheese. I love cheese so much, unless my girly nutrition friend tells me to. Then I will
Yeah.
give up cheese.
Raw, organic, grass-fed. I think we're supposed to eat all the rainbow, so I do in moderation.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're hiding stuff, definitely. Don't. The whole food trend, like, if it has more than 3 to 5 ingredients, like, I really don't need to eat that because it turns into not even food.
Yeah. I find when I grocery shop, I'm like, if there's more packaged stuff than produce, I'm putting some things back on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Because, things go bad quickly, and you probably have to grocery shop more. But at the end of the day, like, I feel so good when I eat, like, really good, like, just for a week. Like, if you can sit with a week's worth of meals and be like, I did real good. I drank a lot of water. That's my problem.
Oh, it's huge.
I do not drink water.
Well, the salt helps too with the absorption.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's expensive too, and people always want to, complain about how it's expensive, but you're gonna pay for your health one way or the other. You're just gonna, and that's either route, whatever you choose. That's for you, but you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
And something's gonna get you, right? Like we all know how this ends.
Humans, right? Yeah.
But at least I'll feel good doing it.
Well, and I think you bring up a great point without saying it, is like, I think we're like, not that something's going to come and get you necessarily, right? But we talk so much about, it's like fearful prevention versus how about I just take care of myself in this present moment, body, spirit, mind, and that will help determine, how the next day of my life is, and so on and so forth.
This moment, absolutely.
Yeah,
because it feels good.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing, is we're so busy doing those things that we're not experiencing those things.
Yes.
We're like, oh, okay, let me eat all really, rich fruit, let's say, or really good fats, and then it's like, oh, well, I didn't even like take in that bite of avocado. I just ate it. It's like,
and that's
okay,
the mindfulness part.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I am not perfect by any means. I shovel my food down, especially I've noticed lately I get to a point where I let my blood sugar just drop way too low, and then I'm hangry, I have a headache, I'm unwell, I'm grouchy, like, not good.
Carry some nuts with you.
Yeah, good idea. Nuts in my pocket.
I mean, they're easy, right?
Yeah. Something we've also talked about quite a bit is microdosing and psilocybin treatment as a form of, like, not only healing, but like helping your body, your nervous system, your mind all kind of become deeper connected. And I think it's getting a lot more attention in the healing world right now. However, we know it is technically not legal. I don't like the word recreationally because, I would hope that when people are considering... Totally. And when people are considering plant medicine generally, no matter the setting, that they're using it with intention. Anyway, can you talk a little bit about like what you're seeing from a medical standpoint when it comes to using either psilocybin or plant medicine generally?
So I did do a year in Oregon recently. I came back last spring, and it was decriminalized there. There are retreat centers, and there's a lot of people seeking those out. And there's studies coming out from that then.
Yeah.
But there has been studies already based on, out of the country on how well it does work for PTSD. And it's just good for depression in general, creativity, and social anxiety. So many things.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's very interesting, just like how powerful some of these things are and how afraid people are of them. I mean, myself included. I'm always like, oh my God, am I going to have a panic attack next time I clean bathrooms? I don't know. you
You never
know?
know.
Right, exactly.
Setting is really important for that reason, but
Totally.
I'm worried about if it does become legalized, because then you have the government regulating, then you've got genetically modified strains, and you're not even getting the whole fruit with all the other added adaptogenic benefits. So that kind of, I mean, I want it to become available, but I think that people that are seeking that out can find it also. It's available, especially in those decriminalized Colorado and Oregon.
Yeah. I always go back and forth of what's the right, and I guess I won't even say right. What's the level of accessibility that is appropriate? You know, because I think, once again, more and more people are, quote unquote, waking up to the power of things within themselves.
Yes.
I think that power threatens systems that are in place. And as we know, whether it be a plant medicine or a tea, an herbal tea that helps your hormones get, like, that is empowering you with, the power to take care of yourself.
1,000%.
And so it's quite interesting, and just to chew on the idea that, not everything is going to be for everybody, but at the end of the day, we should be able to try and figure it out.
Yes,
and
exactly.
If it means I have to fly a million places to, go find access to something that I know or I genuinely deeply believe is going to help me. I think it goes back to that question of, like, what questions is that person asking themselves?
So the plant teachers were put here by our Creator as teachers to find that frequency, and then to hopefully eventually be able to access that without the guide, right? And do it on our own. It's just a template.
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from, though, of the capitalistic nature that I would say humans have learned to operate at. I'll say that very lightly. People can take that however they want. That, it would be really easy to make a enterprise out of
Absolutely.
A spirit, if you will.
Sure. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already, but it's probably coming down the line.
Yeah. I just hope we get it right.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. I think, you see a lot of in just, I guess, misinformation about ayahuasca and all that stuff out there.
Sure.
And why people go to do it and who they do it with. Like, there's so much complexity in something that is really simple.
And
Healing
personal.
can be, right. It's not easy, but it's simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it.
Yes.
And I think the interweavings of humanity has definitely made stuff like this generally very, very complex.
And it shouldn't be.
Yeah. We're trying.
Yeah, we are. We sure are.
I overcomplicate things. It's like my nature. I'm like, oh my God, let me do 20 things at once instead of just one.
Catastrophizing.
Yes. Yeah. We love to do that.
Yep.
Last thing I'll ask you about, which we've kind of hinted at a few times, is hormonal healing. We we constantly hear the trend of like, lower your cortisol, lower your cortisol. But I don't think a lot of people know what that is or what that means for them. So can you break down, like, what are the vibes out there with cortisol, hormonal health for men and women, etc.?
So your cortisol level serves a lot of purposes, but it's basically the spike in the morning to get you up and going. Like there's there's a whole circadian rhythm that our body is supposed to follow with the light that comes up every day with the sunrise. The cortisol, when it gets out of balance, is just our constant state of fight or flight and catastrophizing and making everything the end of the world, or we become addicted to the drama and the emotions. The news is fueled. It's just people look forward to those emotions every night at 5 o'clock or 7 a.m. or whenever it is. But it's the constant without dropping back in to who you are without all of that. Your natural guidance or natural, like, just reset.
Yeah,
Kinda
like the rhythm you were
where
describing.
the breath brings you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to just balance it out again, like we're so out of balance.
Yeah.
But it definitely serves a purpose.
Oh, totally. I think every thing that can be labeled as bad is purposeful. Our bodies are freaking awesome.
Absolutely.
Do you hear a lot more that people's cortisol levels are too high, too low?
Yeah, we're villainizing cortisol.
Yeah.
And that's, people don't have the full picture where you need it. But you also need to have a time where the lights go down at night and your devices are put away, and then you're communing with family and you're practicing gratitude or whatever it is for each person. The cortisol is good, but then you have to unwind eventually. And it should be every day.
Yeah. When we were driving to camping, we were talking a lot about the nervous system and how just it's fascinating and also like wild how when one thing is out of whack, everything can be out of whack.
Oh yes.
And we were actually listening to one of Zach's Harmony series. And
which
just,
one?
Like productivity.
Ooh.
And how there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do except be. And I think as people who generally have thought value is determined by how much you get done or what you produce, it was really good to hear, like, are you okay with being lazy? Because laziness are you okay to be motivated? Because those are not representations of your worth. It's actually just you doing nothing. It's like, oh, okay. But it's that level of urgency in our nervous system, I think, then triggers our cortisol and all our hormones to kind of be like, oh, blah, blah, I don't know what to do, which then creates mental chatter. And it's just so cool how interconnected we are.
Yes.
Yet if we really do focus on taking a step back and setting firm boundaries with our lifestyle, that we can very quickly change the way we feel.
Yep. 21 days.
Yeah. It's funny. I was like, oh my God. I was reflecting on this the other day and working in my corporate job and just how much it didn't resonate with me anymore from a conceptual level. But then I'm like, okay, the whole getting up, doing all the stuff, going and sitting somewhere for this amount of time, going back, maybe working out, maybe cooking dinner, some combination of those things, then having a little time for myself, then going to bed and doing it all over. I was like, it wasn't even just my brain and my thoughts telling me this wasn't right for me. It's like I wasn't even operating under the cyclical nature that I'm allowed to,
Yes.
I don't think we let ourselves live in that, like, okay, when it's winter, everybody can freaking relax. Like,
Yes, and go
you know,
inward.
yeah, right. And, you know, I'm not perfect at that, but it definitely has been a game changer as far as like, okay, I don't have to wake up if the sun's not up,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or
Absolutely.
I don't have to have my screen on 24/7. I can find things to do that will bring me comfort and get me to bed, and how good, like, how important sleep quality is. It's all those things combined, and it's like, once again, where do you start?
Yes.
You know?
It's the spontaneity too. I'm a creature of habit, and so
Yeah.
when we let ourselves, color outside the lines or whatever, that's what's fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, you know, we've talked a million times about how everything is different for the individual. Curiosity is what's going to help you find, like, modalities, the ways of healing that feel best to you. What are you saying to people, or how are you encouraging people to trust that timing, that intuition? Because I think it's really easy to say, like, oh, just trust your inner voice. And people are like, I don't know her. Who is she?
Mm-hmm.
So how are you, like, sharing that, hey, like, you know what's best for you kind of vibe?
I love this saying, and I don't know where it came from, but the immediate response is your heart. If it's a story, then that's your mind jumping in. So that seems to ring true for me, because we'll always have a story for something, but your immediate reaction, it's like that's yeah,
And that's it. No need to overcomplicate.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. If someone is listening right now and they're like, I'm feeling frustrated with my traditional forms of care or routes of care that I've taken, it might be curious or open to exploring, like, other paths, whether it's holistic or, you know, just something else. What's a piece of advice that you would share with them?
I would say it's okay for you to question things. Because we go in these offices, we go in these buildings, we have the people that have the degree, and they come in and they tell us what it is. It's okay to see another, opinion, or it's okay to ask the questions. It's okay to bring somebody with you to ask the questions. We've become, as a society, afraid to question, because that's just what's expected, and it's not necessarily the best action.
Yeah, and I love that, like, thought on bringing someone with you for support, because I think sometimes it's really hard to stand up and advocate for yourself.
It is. Become your own advocate, because nobody else will do it.
Yeah. And so much respect for every medical professional out there who has studied things and who has, like, put the time and the energy in to help people get well. Or understand something, whether it's disease or conditions or medicine, so deeply. But we're all human at the end of the day. And so, I just love that, of, like, it's okay to be human and be nervous, afraid, scared, worried, and also be excited, like, ready for more, whether that be information, whatever. It's all a balance.
all the full spectrum.
Yeah. All right, lady. To wrap us up, I have some rapid fire questions for you that I like to ask all my guests.
Okay.
The first one is, what is your favorite part about the human experience?
My favorite part, I love that we came here with this beautiful instrument, and we're just fine-tuning it the entire lifetime. And we get to experience all the different things with it.
Yeah.
It's an instrument. This is our instrument.
Yes. Oh my gosh. What would yours be if it was like a actual musical instrument?
I think it'd have to be a drum.
I love that.
I'm very grounded though.
Yeah, yes, you are. I don't know what mine would be. I'm giving, I feel like I'm giving flute vibes.
I can see
Airy
that.
fairy.
Yes. Love it.
Maybe like a sound bowl or something. I don't know. Why do you think spiritual connection is important?
Oh, that's a great one. To connect with ourselves, to connect with others. Why is it important? Because the physical is only half of the experience. It's the balance
Beautiful.
between both. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You listed a bunch of different folks so far, like throughout our conversation, that are great resources. But are there any books, other podcasts, resources that you would share to our listeners that you found helpful in your health journey?
Let me see. Depends on how much information you want to know.
Sure.
The assassination of Barbara O'Neill, it tells why she was suppressed. It was written by her husband. She's not,
okay,
she's still
cool.
around, but she can't practice anymore.
Her career, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Interesting. And that's a book.
It is.
Okay. Cool. I'll list that there.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, and if you can think of any others afterwards,
Okay.
I'll always add them. I'll add them to the show
Anything Joe Dispenza or Bruce Lipton.
Yeah.
They were huge
Bruce
for me.
Lipton.
Yeah.
I'm actually still reading Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Ooh, yes.
Those meditations are, wow.
Uh-huh.
Like the ability to actually sit back and prime yourself. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And I actually use a lot of that information now during my sound meditations. You know, because when you drop people into an alpha theta kind of, or an alpha wave of brainwaves, it's like, oh my gosh.
It's powerful.
You are in your subconscious, girl.
That's
Like,
right.
You have some time. Rearrange things you don't want there anymore. Like, let them go. You know?
Yes.
So cool. If you can stay awake. Cool. Tell us more about anything you have coming up, anything that we should know.
Oh, yes.
To connect with you further.
I am holding a breath with sound at Gilbert Yoga Studio called Yoga Spot. That's
Cool.
at the end of July, like the 26th, from 6 to 8. So that's exciting.
Perfect. We'll put the ticket link in your show notes.
Okay.
Or however in our show
Love
notes.
that.
Beautiful. And last but certainly not least, where can our listeners find you?
Oh, yes. So I'm working
My
on a
address
website.
is. Just kidding.
So I do have email at onecollectivefield@gmail.com.
Cool.
And my website is under construction, but coming soon.
Beautiful. Once it's
Yeah.
ready, we'll link that too.
For sure.
So amazing. Look at you doing all the beautiful work.
Yes,
It's been
thank you so
cool
much for having me.
Of course. I'm so glad. It's always so cool. You know, I think everybody's opinions are always going to differ, right? And everybody's going to take in information and frame it with their life experiences and perspectives. But I think it's really cool. I'm so grateful to know someone who is very aware and also still like rooted in a system that is so deeply established in our world. And it's really admirable to watch you like find that balance between like, deep trust and supporting people who want help and love. So thank you for all the beautiful work that you do.
Of course. Thank you for everything you're doing. Oh my gosh. Bringing all this to light.
Trying here. The breath
You're
work.
amazing.
It brought us together. Now you're
that's
stuck
real.
with me forever.
I love you.
I love you too. Well, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate
Of
you so
course.
much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Love you.